All right. Thank you. Thank you for raising your hands. You can lower your hands now. It is still very sad to see that a lot of you have not updated. A lot of you have not updated your profile picture. Yeah. This was something I posted in week 1 as well itself. So I still do see there is a lot of you who haven't updated yet. So please do so. If from the picture I'm showing you now here, you have updated, but maybe Teams hasn't synced yet, then no issues. But normally when I mouse over like that and I see that it is not updated even here, that means you have not changed your profile picture yet. Yeah. So please do so as soon as you can. Yeah. All right. So I see now Muhammad Saad decides to join us. Yeah. So I disabled your mic to see if you are going to respond. Now I am able to. So what I can do here is I can right click and allow the mic. So anyway, all right. So since you're back, that's good because your mic was on earlier and we can hear your background with someone speaking. So just letting you know. All right. I still see a hand being raised. That's by VN. So maybe you haven't lowered it yet unless you have a question. I see it's lowered now. So we're good. All right. Awesome. No worries, Saad. It's a learning journey and we learn every day. 69 of you are in the call, but I am only seeing 57 of you who are in quizzes. So do get in. I shall start the quizzes lesson now. Okay, all right. So this is your very first topic that we are basically covering now. So this is the very first topic, and it is meant to be short, sweet, and simple. Sweet, short, and simple, because then you're just being taken through an introduction to technology. So when we are going through an introduction to technology, we are going right down to the basics. Yeah, we are going right down into you understanding where does technology come from and trying to see certain terminologies that has been used in relation to technology. Okay. So first off, I'm hearing microphones which are switching on again. Probably I should just disable everyone's microphone for now. I will enable them right after this as and when I call for you and when I find someone and I would like you to respond, of course I will enable the microphone for you then, yeah? Just to avoid disruptions. This is your third semester doing a class online. To be honest, I wasn't expecting all these kind of issues anymore. It doesn't matter if you're a technology student or non-technology student. Attending an online meeting is today becoming a very, very important skill for you to have. Yeah. All right, so this is the topic and structure of our lesson today. What is technology to begin with, to identify some keywords in relation to it, the importance of technology in many different areas, of course, looking at some classifications on the other hand, and as well as looking at the nature of technology. So in terms of the nature, what exactly do we mean and the classifications, and when it comes to importance, we will draw certain lines for you to understand technology to begin with, yeah? Your learning outcomes, this is important. Normally, when it comes to this slide, this will appear for every single week, every single topic that we are covering. So it is a good slide to always start with. If you are done with class and whenever you want to look back at your topic again, this is the topic you should go to first and ask yourself if you are able to do it. Like there are only two main points here. One is to define technology. The other one is to explain the importance as well as the purpose of technology. So when you look at these two areas, the main question that goes back to you is that, are you able to do it? Are you able to define technology? And are you able to explain the importance and the purpose of technology at the end of the day? Yeah. So it is meant to ask you, to turn it into a question basically, and to ask you instead, are you walking away after learning about a topic? Are you walking away knowing these areas? learning these as part of your as part of the outcome of what you're supposed to achieve. All right. Okay, so key terms that you must be able to use: technology, machine, science, engineering, what is considered emerging. There is something called tacit technology. There is codified technology. There's something called, there's something being labeled as new technology, different types and different classifications of technology as well. Yeah. So Harish is saying, sorry, have very bad background noise. Harish, are you talking about yourself? Or are you saying that now you can hear a lot of background noise from me? I want to clarify that. So please do clarify that in the chat if you can. And until Harish is highlighting that in the call, if any one of you can comment, that would be good as well. Because from the comment, I'm not sure, are you talking about my background? If it's my background, I need to do something, but there shouldn't be any noise coming from my background. If there is no response, I'm assuming everything is fine. So let's move on, yeah? Thank you, Sardar, for responding to say it's all good. Okay, awesome. Thank you, Zien. Thank you, Crit. Thank you, Asfar as well. Don't hear any noise. There isn't any noise from my background. All right, fine. Moving on. So, what is technology? So, in simple terms, is being highlighted here the application of science. Yeah, the application of science, and it has a sole purpose of solving problems. I'm quite sure you've heard again and again, whenever someone is defining technology, it is as straightforward as something that helps solve our daily routines, things that we do on a day-to-day basis. Technology enables us to do that better, right? Where what is the definition of better here? It can be in many sense. It can be in terms of more efficient, more effective. It can be faster. It can be cheaper. It can be more accurate, right? It can be more secured by using technology. So those are the areas when it comes to when we are highlighting what technology is. On the second point, it says here, technology is the making, the usage, and knowledge of what exactly? Of tools, machines, techniques, crafts, and system of organization. Now, the whole idea here is that technology needs to cover quite a lot of areas, right? It needs to cover quite a big area. That's why you see it can come in many forms. It can come in the form of a tool. It can come in the form of a machine. It can come in the form of just even a technique, right? Even a technique can be considered technology. Even, of course, certain ways of doing things, which is crafts, which is, and of course, systems are also considered as part of solve, and at the end of the day is to solve problems. So you see a multiple range of words here is just to let you see that technology's umbrella is going to be very huge. It's trying to cover as many different areas as possible. Okay, so don't just limit yourself to knowing technology and understanding technology and just seeing it as something that has to be machine related or it has to be a device related. It basically does not just stop there. Yeah, it expands much more than basically that. Yeah. So one of the main things I think I would just like to start off and highlight is, so what is, you can answer the question here through quizzes. What is technology to you? Yeah, what exactly is technology to you? So I will leave it to you on what you want to highlight. But again, here is just what is technology to you, what technology means to you. You can give examples, you can highlight in terms of how do you view technology, your own opinion of technology, but what is technology to you in your context? Yeah. So do provide your responses. I see some coming in already, which is good. All right, so the first one coming in is Saad. Saad says to make life easier. All right, very true. In many different sense, as I said just now, is to make life better. In other words, what is technology to you? Edric says in everyday life. Technology is in everyday life. Definitely, I think it is something that from the point of you waking up all the way till the point that you go back to sleep, and even when you are sleeping, technology plays a role. To make our life more convenient, that's what Jia Wen is saying. Jun Yu says convenient and to make our life easier. So you see very common words are appearing. Convenient, easier, easier, convenient, easier, convenient. Life, wow. Alam just gives me one word, just gives us one word here and says life in general. Machines relate to technology. So that is by Hankit. But remember, yeah, as I've just defined technology to you, please understand now that technology doesn't just stop at machines. It can be different tools, it can be different methods of doing something, all right? So you need to look at those areas as well. Anything that makes our life better and convenient, something that makes our life easier, things that can make life easier and convenient. Interestingly, these words, the same words keep appearing. Life easy, application of science. Thank you, Seng Fong. That is exactly what was being written in a slide earlier. Tools and knowledge to solve problems. Set of machines or programs with the purpose of solving problems and making our lives easier. Now remember, to be clear, the question to you is that how do you view technology? Yeah. None of your answers are currently wrong. Actually, I don't think there will be any wrong answers per se, but it is important to see in terms of what is the perspective here of where the question is coming from. Solving problems allow us to advance into the future, make our lives more comfortable, solving problems. Scientific knowledge used in practical ways in industry. Nicely put. Dolores, I think, right? Or maybe your name is Dulce. Bringing imagination to human life. Wow, interestingly put. Useful tools, convenient, again. Solve complicated problems, which can't be solved easily by humans with a question mark at the back. So as usual, I think whenever there's a question mark, you are giving an answer, but you are not sure of your answer. I don't see anything wrong with it. Whether it is only solving things that cannot be solved easily by humans, maybe that part of it is not necessarily true. Sometimes it is something that can be easily solved by humans, but using technology allows you to take your focus away from it. A simple example, even if it's just a simple calculation of simple maths, well, it's not too difficult for you to do it either, but technology takes that focus away and for you to just easily get an answer without thinking too much about it. Yeah. Better to live better, things that make everything simple, convenient, solve daily problems, invent things to let our life become better, even though not all of them. Finally. So finally, I'm also seeing that there are different perspectives of technology. Yeah. So Manheng says, it invents things to let our life become better, but remember, even though not all of them necessarily do so. Yeah. Convenient, easier way to apply science using machines, more convenient, apply scientific knowledge. Something that is changing to make our life easier and better most of the time. Most of the time. So Zian is also having that perspective of it, right? So it's not all the time, it is most of the time. Innovation, enriching life. Good. Lip Hao adds on to say that it is a scientific way to solve the problem. Practical use, save time in doing tasks, lifestyle upgrades. Oh, wow. Lifestyle upgrades. That's what Kaman says. Improve life and future generations, simple and complex machines to help ease our life. Interesting. Activities done without involving manpower. Tina has her own way to put it then. Activities done without involving manpower. Do not forget the most important role of technology is at the end of the day to support humans, to support users, and to support people at the end of the day, right? Technology is science and knowledge put into practical use, convenience for lazy people. So that's what Shami believes in, convenience for lazy people. All right. Is being lazy bad? Maybe Shami can reply in the chat and provide your thoughts, or anyone else for the matter. Is being lazy bad? Right? Is being lazy really bad? Something connecting with computers make our life nicer, things that make our life convenient, help solve problems. Science, good. This is a good word that keeps appearing as well, because this is one of your main takeaways today. It is something, or rather a lot to do with science. Rick starts coming in and say, technology pollutes Earth. Here's a funny thing when you talk about this. Technology helps you to pollute Earth, and then technology is also helping you to improve and to return Earth back to its original state. Convenience, any use of equipments and tools, fine, invent new things and provide service to us. Darren has decided to just use one word and to say everything. Thank you to everyone who has responded. I'll end the question here now. Okay. So I see Jet saying no smart people are lazy. No smart people are lazy. Meaning people who are smart are not lazy, is it? Work smarter, not harder. Being lazy drives men to be innovative, to create things to make life easier. Being lazy is not bad. We can thank all the lazy people for coming up with Grab, Foodpanda, etc. No, smart people are lazy. Oh, you mean smart people are always lazy? There's this line by Bill Gates talking about lazy people. Again, I may not be able to verify, but it seems like it really came from him. As you can see, there are so many pictures and there's so many quotes in relation to it. But yeah, like I said, I cannot verify it whether it's totally true. So as you can see, it's written here, I will always choose a lazy person to do a difficult job because he or she will find an easy way to do it. Yeah. I'm just showing you this because I think it's important to see it from a different perspective as well. Yeah. Finding an easier way to do things is good. At the end of the day, no matter what you're referring to, if you can find an easier way to do the same thing, to achieve the same thing, of course, that is the whole idea. And to be honest, that is what you want to achieve, right? But of course, this is just one perspective looking at someone who is lazy and looking at the advantages more than looking at anything else. So yeah. All right, thank you. Thank you for all your responses. I think everyone has quite the same idea overall when you're looking at technology and then trying to see whether how much of it actually affects your day-to-day life, helps you to really solve problems and so on. All right. There are officially 3 sentences here. I know the words alone fill up the whole slide, but to be fair, they are all necessary for you to see in what, when we are defining technology in our context, what do we refer to? Yeah. So Samuel comes in and says it's about cutting corners without cutting the main part. Yeah, but you still cut the corners. Corners are still being cut, but I guess your point is that, well, at least the main part is not being cut. Moving on, application of knowledge to the practical aims of human life or to change and manipulate the human environment. Yeah, so a lot of the keywords are appearing in what you responded earlier. So most of you are definitely on point to talk about applying the knowledge. When you're applying knowledge, you are practically looking at things. Yeah, it can do both here in order to change or even to manipulate the human environment. Yeah, so as we see a lot of solutions that we have today, they do that. They actually bring change to the way that we do something. Second point, the technology includes the use of materials, the tools, techniques, leveraging on sources of power to make life easier or more pleasant and to work more productively. Yeah. So again, of course, the word easier is definitely popping up a lot. Some of you may have probably even seen the slides and therefore is able to easily share a keyword that you might think of as well. But the focus here is for you to see that a lot of things can be technology. Just looking at materials alone can be technology. Yeah. And when we talk about materials, I always like to talk about something that all of us are definitely familiar with because all of us have it, all of us wear it as well. Clothes. Yeah. Look at how clothes has basically changed from the time of when only cotton is available to the different types of material that we have today. Yeah, and every material has its own functionality. Every material is there for a certain type of reason. So that can be considered, can easily be considered technology as well. Yeah. Tools, obviously, the different tools and techniques which are also considered technologically related. And of course, looking at sources of power as well, which is one of the topics we'll go into when we speak about power and energy. Okay. As highlighted here, making life easier and more convenient is one part of it. But look at the more important aspect is, of course, to even be more productive, right? You should be doing, as I highlighted earlier, to be more efficient, to be faster, to be cheaper in the way that you do something, to be more effective. So those are the ones that you want to focus on. Last point, whereas science is concerned with how and why things happen, technology focuses on making things happen. Yeah. So the practical aspect of it, and of course, to then see how it actually happens in real life is where technology is more focused about. All right. It is definitely there to solve a problem at the end of the day, but I don't think that it will only stop at the word problem. It can be there to also to solve certain challenges that you might have, to solve certain inefficiencies that you might have, to help you grab an opportunity that you have, so it can go along those lines as well. All right. So when it comes to the importance of technology, 5 areas are being highlighted here. Again, the 5 areas may not be something that is foreign to you. It's not something that is absolutely new to you either. First one on the far left, just as important as how technology has been playing a role in your day-to-day education, it is something that is very, very evident around the world today, right? So because of all of the tools and techniques and devices and machines that you have, the existence of the internet, this has definitely changed education a lot. So you see now with computers and tabs in every classroom, technology has advanced the testing options available to most school systems. Yeah. So the highlight here is that, of course, you can now monitor students much easier. You can now analyze students much more easier. The one part, since we are talking about this, which has just reminded me that this is something I wanted to show you. So when I'm in Teams, all right, I hope this is not too small for you to look at. When I'm in Teams, I have one particular option here, which is called, maybe this is a bit better because it's bigger. So as you can see here, one of my options says Insights, right? I have a class notebook with you. I have assignments which I can monitor. There are grades overall, but I have a new tab here called Insights. So in terms of Insights, what I can see is that I can easily get an overview about students in my class. Of course, this is in relation to the platform. This is in relation towards the usage of Teams, in relation towards how exactly, what exactly I can monitor, and there are different characteristics or criteria that's involved, right? So look at it here. It says enable education insights to support students through the learning cycle. I can identify academic skills, emotional needs here. I can reflect on instruction and student performance because they are all data-driven insights. Create learning opportunities, collaborate across classrooms to improve learning outcomes. Yeah. So I see something in the chat, if I'm not mistaken. Samuel says, not Simon says, Samuel says, although online learning is less effective, at least we are able to have class and to move forward rather than nowhere during the pandemic. Yeah, absolutely, right? It depends on what do you make out of this as well. So a lot of you may even sit back and go like, well, we don't really have a choice, do we? Right? As much as Samuel said that, I'm very sure a lot of you who are in this situation now, you would just look at it and say, well, it's not like we have any other choices, correct? On the other hand, I can be very, very honest with you that there are some of your friends who are still taking the back seat and to say that it's okay, I will probably start my studies later on anyway. Yeah. Anyhow, so what you're seeing here, so as you can see, 5 spotlights, great news, all your students were active in November. So overall, at least everyone has at least done something on Teams. 10 students were absent from at least 2 meetings last week. So even areas that is being highlighted to me is automatically given. Yeah, I do not even need to dig in or to go through an Excel sheet to find out all this information. Yeah, and I can even immediately identify who are all these students and maybe in terms of them being absent for which particular class and so on. This is where the interest is. As you can see here, digital engagement this specific week, this particular week. Yeah, it's highlighted here to say that there are 6 inactive students, which means these students have not even bothered logging into Teams and to look at the Teams or to even get into the channel or to like and so on and so forth. Remember, I think all of you are definitely aware of that I have created one specific, as I will call it, as I would like to call it, a private lounge for each of your assignment group. And my first very simple indication to all is that please like this post to show that you are aware and you understand the purpose of this private channel. Yeah, I'm very sad to say that I probably hit about 50%, less than 50%. Yeah, so some groups there's only 1, some groups there's only 2. While I'm talking about this, I hope none of you go and like it now because my notifications are going to go crazy. Because I think some of you are already starting to do it. See? Stop it. Don't do it now, do it later. See? Again and again. If I don't stop you, I know you will continue. Oh my God. You guys cannot understand simple instructions. Anyway, going back to this. So the other thing I would definitely have to highlight that I'm just slightly a bit sad about is when I ask you whether you are coming for your tutorial for your hybrid classes. Yeah, I do take this quite seriously. Otherwise, I wouldn't bother posting about it to begin with. Yeah, for the CT class that is happening tomorrow, there are 47 of you in this channel, and 29 of you have responded. Yeah, I know exactly. I know exactly who are the ones who have not responded. Or interestingly, it has just dropped to 28. I'm not sure why. I know exactly who did not respond. I've already taken down your names. Those of you who now start liking it, sorry, your names are not in anymore. Same thing with engineering and BF as well. I've already had my tutorial with you on Tuesday. There are 30 of you in class. Only 17 of you bothered to respond. And I know who the 17 of you are. I can easily just mouse over and see who they are, and I've already taken down the names anyway, and I know exactly who the remaining 13 of you who did not bother to respond. Yeah. Again, now these are things that technology has provided so that it is easier for tracking purposes to keep in touch, to consistently be in touch with each other. I know it's the beginning of your semester. I know you have a lot of different teams to look at. However, there are only certain instances that are asking you to do something, and it is as simple as just liking something. Yeah, on your teams, when you see activities here, there is a reason, there is a whole notification bar here. Go back into it, look for areas that you want to look for, areas that you know that either you're being mentioned or a response is required from you. That would be quite important. Yeah. So Tina is saying this ain't the tracking we needed. You don't need it, but I do. Yeah, you don't need it. I definitely do. So it's and I think it's important that I'm doing this now early in the semester as well, because it is only fair that if you are being monitored, you are informed. When you are working later, I can be very honest with you. Your employers will track you, and they wouldn't even bother to tell you. And because number one, they have every right to track you because you're on the platform anyway, whether you use the system or not, whether you don't use the system, they can go right down to knowing if it's a company device, they can go right down to know that, oh, you are always on this particular website. Oh, wow, you only use Microsoft Word for 15 minutes for the whole day today. You know, things like that, right down to those areas. Again, whether you see that as a plus point or a negative point, it depends on who you are. Okay, all right. So same thing as I would definitely highlight here as well in terms of that. Here is some motivation for you. So I'm highlighting this. The next time when I ask a question, I do expect everyone to respond. Yeah. I know some of you will think that I'm being picky, but I think I'm being very straightforward as well. When you ask me a question, when you ask me to respond, and when you want to find out something from me, you expect me to respond. Yeah. And I think it is only fair and it's only showing the same amount of respect when I ask you to also respond, I am expecting you to. Okay, so I just wanted to be on the same page in terms of that. Yeah. Now, at the end of the semester, how would all this help you is that when I look into insights and I see that there are most of you who are active, you respond to my post when I ask you to do so, and so on and so forth. As you can see, just now it was showing 6 inactive students. Suddenly now it's showing me 5. Yeah, but I can see exactly when was it that you responded and you don't respond. Yeah, but that, put that aside. This will help you at the end of the semester when I am evaluating your work. If your work is borderlining, what does a borderline mean? It is from a B to B plus. It is from a B plus to A. It is from an A to A plus. I use these insights and data to support pushing you to the next grade. Yeah. But of course, if I come here and find out that you have been inactive anyway, you normally don't respond, you normally don't do anything in Teams because you are too busy doing something else. So please do not. Then I do not have. I can't find any reason to bump you up to the next grade. Yeah. So please be aware of that. Yeah. There is I would use the word reward behind it, right? So I think it's only fair that if you're doing extra work, you are being compensated for it. I think that is very fair to say. It's going to apply the same thing in your group assignment later on as well. If you do more, then honestly, you will deserve more marks in that sense. Yeah, doesn't mean everyone will get exactly the same amount of marks, especially when you don't contribute to the group as well. All right, so that was what I wanted to quickly show and just to speak about in relation to how technology works in education today. Yeah. Second point, something that all of us are familiar with. I don't think I need to expand too much on this when it comes to communication, and it comes from, again, different applications as well. Business, personal life, technology has definitely improved those aspects of communication. Yeah. I think without a doubt, this is definitely one of the main areas and importance when it comes to technology, the communication aspect of it. How much of the communication has been affected, whether it's positive or negative, that is a totally separate question. Yeah. Security. So when you are discussing about technology, again, it's very easy to come from these angles. And security is always one of my favorite areas to look into. And this is one of my I would like to call it an Easter egg. Yeah, I would love to call this an Easter egg because this is one point that all of you can use in class when you're talking about advantages or disadvantages of technology, which some of you, when you have reviewed your assignments, assignment question, your weekly guide, you will notice that there will be one point that you have to speak about advantages and disadvantages. Yeah. Normally, especially when I ask students about it, I will always hear 3 things from students. It is always saving costs, saving time, and saving manpower, right? I'm very, very tired of listening to all these advantages as of now because they are very obvious, and you don't even need to do much research to know that technology saves you money, technology saves you time, and technology saves you resources or manpower. Yeah, you need to move away, not away necessarily, you need to move into an area that is more than that. And security is definitely one area of it, right? Which is an area that can be downplayed in many different sense. But if you look into it enough, you then understand, oh, there are many areas of security that technology covers mainly for your standard day-to-day things that you do. Yeah. Security devices, software that is available as well that can secure your financial data, that can protect your home when you're away, and many aspects of security that comes into the picture as well. Yeah. At what cost? Again, that is not what we are discussing at this point of time. Yeah. Supplies. So supplies here, of course, is referring mainly towards supplies of our basic needs as human beings. Yeah. So that's why you see water here, you see food here. Then there is a lot of ways that technology has definitely sped that up for us, right? Access to water, access to electricity, access to food. A lot of those aspects have definitely has gone into a lot of different areas of an advancement at this point of time. Last but not least, of course, space, a newer area where technology is going into. I'm very sure you have seen enough movies as of today And the story is always the same. Human beings are destroying Earth. Human beings are basically digging. Earth is becoming one huge graveyard because of the things that we've been doing and the way that we treat Mother Nature in that sense. And one saving grace that most of these movies will always show us is that where can we go to if Earth totally shuts down? Where do we go? We have space, yeah, right? And apparently there's a lot of it, a lot of space in space, and it's something that we can move into, and that is why as well there is a lot of interest going into it, yeah. Learning more about galaxies, learning more about certain things that we don't understand about space as well. So these are just 5 out of the many, many different areas of technology that is being highlighted to you. And this brings us to a simple question of, other than education, communication, security, supplies, and space, what other areas can you identify for the importance of technology? Yeah, what other areas can you identify for the areas of technology? Okay, let me just see. I have to zoom this in. Oh, there's another interesting point highlighted to me here. 75 students were often late for meetings last week. Ah, interesting. Johnson Chong often works late at night. Wong Renjo often works late at night. Whether that is good or not, that is something that I can only find out later on. Okay. There are some of you who's replying in the chat, is it? I thought you're applying through quizzes. Let me try getting back into quizzes. All right. I see. Oh, I'm backtracking it a bit. Jamil says my phone is okay. Your phone is lagging. What if we on WhatsApp and interact with the group members there? All right. So Tina is highlighting that. And to be fair, yeah, Tina, I'm just addressing your question in the chat. What if you're active in a different platform? Unfortunately, what if I tell you that then you will need to add me into WhatsApp? I'm just saying if, yeah, don't do it, yeah. I don't want to be there either. WhatsApp is very personal for me, and I think it's going to be an issue if you're there. Maybe some of you, maybe you will think, oh, wait, you want to be in a WhatsApp group, but then there's a lot of things that we do there. So number one is that let me get you used towards your working life later. When you're working later and then your company uses certain platforms, your company uses certain technologies, I think the last thing you will do is that you will go to your boss and say, come on, boss, we are using Teams. I don't like Teams, you know, WhatsApp is much more easier. Can't we just be on WhatsApp? Guess what will your boss look at you and say? Yeah. So if it's an official platform that we already have, I would rather not have a third platform. You want to be on it, no one can stop that. I cannot tell you that, sorry, WhatsApp is banned, you're not allowed to use it and things like that. You can use it all you want. But then as our official platform, and since I've already created a private lounge for you, it is best that you provide updates there as well. You can do all the discussion you want over there, but there must be some tracking and monitoring and updates being provided here on the private lounge. Yeah. Again, it is official. Again, it is something I can use to support you. If anything goes wrong later, I can always say, yeah, these students, I have been monitoring them. They have been showing me their progress. They have been responding to my questions in the chat. Everything is very clear here, and it is on the official university platform. If it is on anything else, it's very hard to justify. Yeah. So I hope you get where am I coming from. Saad is saying cutting trees is so bad. Muhammad Bakar says manufacturing production. Johnson says got caught. Renjo says oops. What if we set our status to offline? Well, you can. But if you set it to offline, it has nothing to do to whether you are being active on it or not. Doesn't mean that if you're offline, then what you do in the team is not tracked. It will still be tracked anyway. Samuel said he's going to say you don't have to come to work anymore. Yeah, your boss might just say that to you, right? And I think you agree as well. Okay, Honkit started off by saying space. Oh my God. Honkit, I showed you 5 just now, and space is one of them. I'm asking you to identify other areas. Yeah, never mind. Maybe you didn't hear me clearly. Aaron says medical, good. Elvis gave an obvious one, which is business, of course, science and research, agriculture, medical, AI. Yuan says education. I just showed you and talked about education. Yeah, I wanted to find out other areas. Medical field, defense, security. Yeah, defense is a whole major areas as well. Of course, more of the interests of governments and countries. Psychological. Oh, wow. Okay, I think I will have to now allow everyone's mic because I wanted to speak to some people. Where was I? Let me allow microphone for attendees. Rick, can you just quickly mention what you mean by psychological? I understand there's a question mark behind there, but at least I want to hear from you what you mean by it. Are you speaking? I don't think I can hear you, Rick. I don't see. We are all still muted. Oh, I have already enabled the mic. Hold on, yeah. That is weird. Meeting options. Allow mic for attendees. Allow mics. Ah, okay. Now it's updated. So, Rick, are you there?
Yes.
Okay. Explain.
So if let's say someone has a very traumatic experience or perhaps a very bad trauma and they want to get away, and because our human minds can't really perceive some things physically, like we need to, like let's say a box, we need to jump over the box to know that we conquer that box, something like that. So we can perhaps use technology to, let's say, in VR or VR, like Sword Art Online. I saw one which is a deep dive virtual reality where it combines the real world and technological world. So maybe we can help heal a person's trauma by doing that, by giving them a visual representation to make it easier. Or we can apply to, let's say, a very smart AI who contains a very higher EQ than humans. So let's say if you feel lonely or sad at home, right? Instead of opening up to your friends or someone you're close to, you can just go to the robot and seek advice or something like that.
Okay, all right. A literal, like how digital assistants are today, I think, of course, you're looking at much more advanced digital assistants, which can be like a partner and someone you can speak to. All right, thank you, Rick. Interestingly, yes, it can. Of course, I think it falls under medical fields as well, since you're speaking about something which is more psychological. Jesse says storage. Johnson says healthcare, medical health. A lot of you highlighted healthcare, right? So evidently as well. Kai Feng says agriculture, definitely. Transportation, games, not forgetting. Networks are also an area as well. All right, I can accept that. Teleportation, moving through dimensions, time travel. Can you give examples that exist, Sardar? These are areas that definitely do not exist yet at this point of time. Aerospace, aeronautics, you're right. Business, medical, metaverse. Huh? Someone is obsessed with Facebook's new name, I guess. AI, recreational activities, business, entertainment. Thank you, Crit, for highlighting one very significant area as well. for technology, which is entertainment. Edric says business with a Z, interestingly. Transportation, agriculture, entertainment, science, business. All right, I think there's the similarities across as we go now. WeChat. So Bunny, you are identifying a particular tool and application. The question is more asking about areas, yeah, areas of where technology can be very important in. Cameras, military, medicine, surgery. All right. R&D, research and development. Good point, Shahmi. That's something I will highlight towards the end of class today as well. Medical, entertainment. All right, I think a lot of similar ones now. Arcades, for example. Yep. Education again. Some of you are really not listening, are you? Medical, agriculture, finance. Awesome, right? Finance, accounting softwares as well. So looking at this, I think we all agree that there can be a lot of other areas when it comes to the importance of technological applications. Yeah, and not to forget that I will just fast track or fast forward into a bit of your areas of exam. Now, when a question is being asked of you, when you want to come up with an example to explain about it, feel free to give an example of any areas. Yeah. Even, of course, this includes areas that we did not necessarily cover in class. But as long as your example makes sense to support what you are trying to say, then we're good. We're good to go. Yeah. All right. Reasons that demonstrate the importance of technology. Of course, here, as you can see, technology helps to improve communication, efficiency, protection against attacks, security-related areas. Yeah. Of course, productively on a work basis. Unlimited supply of knowledge. You can have as much information as anyone else who have access to technology, increase employee engagement, new markets for growth, technology and business is being highlighted here again, capacity of business, not to forget areas, newer areas like cryptocurrency is coming into existence as well. Yeah. So as much as technology has opened up a lot of doors, I like to summarize it as that, right? It has opened up a lot of newer doors, opened up newer opportunities for us to do things and to look at things differently as well. Yeah. So that is done looking into what is technology, looking into the importance of technology, and now we move on to a classification of technology. Now, to be fair, yeah, the 6 areas that you see here that we are defining it's a combination from different resources. It's a combination from different sources. But of course, you will need to, the highlight here is more of you understanding each of the terms that you see here. So there's something called new technology. So what is considered new technology is if the technology is new towards an organization. Yeah. So the context here is a bit different. Yeah. I'm not asking you what is the latest technology. When we mention new technology, is that a technology is new to that particular organization. So the technology may be old, but if this company is using it for the first time, this technology is new to that company. All right. For the obvious reasons, whenever a company takes up technology, obviously is for competitive advantage and for productivity purposes. Example, a computer software that is new to the company to aid engineering drawing. Yeah, like AutoCAD or CAD/CAM, where you can use technology to then draw and to come up with layouts, to come up with blueprints and things like that. Yeah. So understand this correctly. New technology that we are defining here at this point for this slide now is as long as that technology is newly introduced to the company, not whether that technology in the world today, whether it is new or not. We don't care about that. We are caring more about whether the technology is new to a company and is new to an organization or otherwise. Okay, all right. So Shahmi is saying Sardar from the future. He's from the year 3080. 3080. Oh my God, I can't even imagine 2080 and then you're going to 3080. Do you think Earth can last until 3080? That's always an interesting question. All right, so clear, that is a new technology. Yeah. Now, emerging technology, of course, takes it out of the context of the organization now. It then talks about it in a much more wider scope, right? Something that is considered in a pre-commercialization stage, that is considered emerging technology. That means it is out there, but not everyone is using it yet. Some people started using it. Some are testing it per se. It's not fully commercialized yet. So that is what emerging technology is. Yeah. Second point is that obviously because it is in a pre-commercialization stage, not everyone uses it yet, but it is starting to be used. It will only significantly evolve in 5 years' time. In about 5 years' time, it will become something that is significantly used and everyone is using it. Yeah. Of course, emerging technologies, most of the time, what do? Is they disrupt. Yeah. The right term to be used is that they disrupt. I wouldn't emphasize on the word disrupt, but it's more of disrupting. They disrupt current industries, right? A lot of current industries were disrupted with newer technologies. I think all of you are definitely aware of it. Simple example, someone mentioned things like Grab Food and Food Panda, or even Grab in general. Yeah, Grab Car, for example, has disrupted the whole taxi and cab industry. Right? They were badly disrupted. A lot of cab drivers started losing businesses. They could not sustain and so on and so forth. So a lot of this emerging technology at that point of time, they will disrupt the current industries which are where the technology relates to. Okay, obviously it will transform the society as well moving forward. All right, so that is an emerging, right, and this is new. Now, please understand as well, of course, when we speak about new technology, and as highlighted here, it is introduced to the organization as a new technology. My next question is to get you to then see, can you identify some examples of, can you try which of this would you consider, of the following is considered a new technology? Yeah, is considered a more of a new technology, and it is something that is new to everyone, to almost all organizations as well. So please choose and vote according to the polls that you see here. Which of the following is considered a new technology? So I've chosen these areas because then most of these areas will easily be considered an area that is new to almost any organization per se. So identify the ones that you think is going to be considered new to any organization. Yeah. Fadi in the chat says Tesla auto cars disrupting Uber drivers. Really? Not that much, I guess. Well, Uber at least doesn't exist here anymore, but Uber is still very, very popular in the US and in certain countries in the world. Samuel is saying RIP BlackBerry. As much as you say that, there's a lot of older versions of BlackBerry that is reappearing, whether you believe it or not. Okay, I think a lot of you have answered. That is good. Oh, wow. So across, I think most of you have given your answers. A slight majority says 5G is definitely a new technology. 4D printing as well. Autonomous vehicles, blockchain, Internet of Everything. Yeah, not just Internet of Things. Internet of Things is definitely, as of today, will not necessarily fall under new technology anymore because it is widely being used. It is quite widespread, right? Yeah, and a lot of companies are already using it. All right, thank you. So all of you are absolutely right. I just randomly put all these examples here because it's my way of introducing and to show you in terms of new technology mainly. Now, the next question also gives you an idea, on the other hand, of what emerging technology is. So try guessing, try identifying which one here do you consider an emerging technology. When we go to the next topic next week, we will talk a bit more about emerging technologies as well. Yeah. So which of the following is considered an emerging technology? Still very new now. Not everyone uses it yet. It's some of them are even in a pre-commercialization stage, and then moving forward, it is something that is going to be significantly used later on. Yeah. All right, I see drone and IoT is on a much more lower level, but VR, AR, a lot of you seem to be supporting. chatbots and digital assistants, intelligent spaces. Oops. Right. Okay. All right. Awesome. It's good to see all of you responding. I see that there are more than 60 over responses already in on quizzes. All right, great. So most of you are correct, I will have to say. Now, again, this is one of those that I would just want to put here as examples for you to see. Now, a lot of it, of course, in terms of something like IoT or drone, you will not consider them new technology anymore. But in a lot of areas on where they have been used, it can be considered emerging. Now, all these 5 that I show you here, all the 5 earlier there, you can consider them new technology. All the 5 that I'm showing you here, you can consider them emerging technology. Simple example, drones in the context of for entertainment purposes, maybe is not emerging anymore, right? There's so many types of drones around now. But drones in certain areas and drones being used for certain purposes can still be considered emerging technology because it's not being used in that area yet. Same thing goes with IoT as well. Yeah. Intelligent spaces are referring into everything that has the word smart in front of it. In a very simple way, I'm explaining this to you is that anything that has the word smart in front of it. Yeah. Think of examples. I think you can think of a lot of examples. Please don't say smartphone. Please don't say smart home. Those are very, very common. Try putting the word smart in other things. Smart building can be considered an intelligent space as well. Yeah. Smart cars. I know some of there can be a lot of debate what smart cars will do, but it will be an interesting area to look into as well. So that what intelligent spaces and environments is trying to go into. Yeah. Chatbots, digital assistants, we have a lot of those today as well, but it can be emerging because then, as highlighted earlier, I forgot who was talking about it just now, but was saying like maybe having someone like a partner at home, someone to speak to, an AI to speak to, and they can respond live and real time and basically give you the information that you need and so on and so forth, right? Bakar is asking, oh, interesting. So you finally asked, I thought no one was going to ask that, but Bakar finally asked, how does 4D printing basically work? Yeah, all right. There's this light at the back of me that is making my camera look very weird. It looks like I'm descending from higher ground. All right, okay, so 4D printing. Okay, I want to turn that into something I want you to go and find out first. Because the next class, or rather the next week, then I will address what 4D printing is. Just to hopefully spark your curiosity, Bakar, or for that matter, everyone in class, go and find out what is 4D printing. A lot of us know 3D printing already. 3D printing is very widely available, commercially available now. A lot of things are being 3D printed. But what about 4D printing? Please go and find out before I explain it next week. Yeah. I see smart kitchen, smart bridge. Tina is saying like a sacrifice. Okay, all right. Is 4D printing the printing of organs? Nope, Jet, go and find out first before you start guessing. Just guessing, yes, your guess is wrong. Bioprinting is like 3D printing, but it's got to be reprogrammed or something like that. Half correct, Fadi. Moving on. I want to spark enough curiosity for you to go and find out. Yeah. All right. Okay. And the question. All right. Do you want to, before I move on to the next slide, which is supposed to be this, should we go for a break? Should we go for a quick 10-minute break? Or do you want to push through and we finish earlier instead? So if you want a break, please raise your hands. Then we go for a quick break. Okay, all right. Yeah, I see quite a number of you are raising your hands anyway. So let's go. We'll go for a quick 10-minute break. I'll see everyone back here in 10 minutes. Yeah. Thank you. You can lower your hands.
the moon pales in comparison to you, and I don't know what I should do. Love always feels like it gets in the way, hanging out but we got nothing to say. See you tomorrow, love you through sorrow, leave me some breadcrumbs and I swear I'll follow you. The right way is feeling so wrong, but the right way should lead me to you. Cause if it's true, I don't know what I'll do. Oh, the moon pales in comparison to you, and I wanna spend the rest of my life with you. Your eyes look like the stars, the sky is jealous, taking me too far. It's overwhelming, no matter how high we go, I'll find my way back to you.
This is the end.
What nonsense, darling. Well, I fixed you up last night, and I'll do it again.
Oh, the moon leaving me oh so soon. Will I see you again? I'll stay right here till then, singing out to all the stars, hoping you hear me wherever you are, calling your name each and every day. If they call me insane, I'll say, oh, the
I'll do it again.
This is the end.
All right, welcome back everyone. If you can see me and hear me, do raise your hands. Okay, awesome. Thank you. You can lower your hands. All right. So now, in terms of the classification, I'm quite sure all of you are still in quizzes, yeah? The quizzes lesson. As I can see, 73 of you are still here. So in terms of the classification, we have gone through the first two, which is new and emerging. The next three areas we're going to go into is high, medium, and low technology. So remember that this is just a classification, yeah? So there will be technologies that fall into a higher category, considered high, some are medium, and some are considered low. By general, by general definition, as you can see, if it's an advanced or sophisticated technology, it'll be considered high. Something which is medium is considered between advanced and low technology. A lot of this that sits here, for example, will be like consumer products industry. And anything that is low, whereby workers are involved, low expertise is required, when a lot of operations are considered still manual or semi-auto, are considered low technologies. Low levels of R&D, changes are very little or very slow, right? So that is considered low technology. In relation to products, a lot of the products which are related to basic needs will also be considered low technology. Yeah. On the right here, you would have not noticed this picture or this list of things in your slide. So this is something that I've just added into it. Yeah. So according to some organizations and who has basically categorized their high technology and medium and low, you would have noticed that there is also two more. Medium is divided into two categories instead. One is considered more on a medium high, right? One is more considered more on a medium low technology instead. All right. So high technology, obviously, you see aircraft, spacecrafts are here, pharmaceuticals, office, accounting, computing machinery, radio, TV, communications, medical, precision and optical instruments will all sit here on the high technology. Low, on the other hand, you see a lot of areas of manufacturing, especially an example here is like recycling is still considered using low technologies. Wood, pulp, paper products, printing, publishing, food products, as you see here as well. Textiles, leather, footwear, all these are considered low technology industries. In between is whereby you see there is a slight differentiation. For medium high technologies, you see electrical machinery, motor vehicles, chemicals, railroad equipments, general machinery and equipment will sit under medium or high technology. On the other hand, when it comes to medium low, you see anything that is related to building, repairing of ships and boats, examples here, rubber and plastic products, a lot of consumer products, right, in the medium part of it. Coke, drinking, the drink, refined petroleum products, nuclear fuel, non-metallic mineral products, basic metals and metal products, a lot of it will be sitting more on medium and low technology. Yeah, so a lot of heavy industries, you notice, are on the lower side of things. Now, to be fair, right, this classification is probably something that started off in 2019, right, 2018, 2019, but there is a change, or rather there is an update as and when we go along, whether some technologies will still sit under medium or will still sit under low and considered high or otherwise. Yeah, so this list can be a live list that gets updated as and when we go. But in general, as highlighted, anything that's considered advanced or sophisticated will fall under high. Anything that requires very little expertise, a lot of the processes are still very manual, they don't do much R&D, all those will be considered low technology. Okay. All right, the next two that we're going to go through, they are related to each other. One, of course, is considered a codified technology. So the first point it says here is transferred encoding. Transferred encoding here, do not just limit yourself to think about programming in general. Transferred encoding is just trying to say that this is something that is evidently documented. Yeah, evidently documented. So when they say transferred encoding, is that these types of technology are fully documented, right? And when they are fully documented, it's easy for you to start to learn about the technology. So when they are fully codified, it is very easy. It's much more easier to show how it works because you can go through step by step and understand how it works. Yeah, it's very precise. It's much more faster transferred. So I think you can easily understand that if a technology is codified, meaning everything you can find it from a particular book, let's say. Simple one. You can go to our library and you can find that there is a Microsoft Office related book, right? So Microsoft Office obviously includes PowerPoint, Microsoft Word, Microsoft Excel, and you can find a whole 500-600 page book that covers everything you need to know about Word, PowerPoint, and Excel. Yeah, and even Outlook. So if it's a codified technology, obviously transferring this technology from one organization to another is much more easier. Yeah, everything is fully codified, everything is fully written down, and therefore it's very precise and accurate as well, because it's either A or B. Is very straightforward. Example is given here: engineering drawing that shows dimension and shape of a product. Yeah, so these are fully codified, because when you look at the engineering drawing, you understand clearly what it means. You understand everything that is written in there, every dimension that is supposed to reveal to you. You know what they mean. Okay. A quick question here. I see there are still 3 hands which are raised. I think you haven't lowered your hands yet. Harish, Bani, and also Bakar. So the question here is quite straightforward. What technology skills can you easily learn online? Stop it! It looks like there's a virus. Coding, 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 coding. Oh my God. Yeah, Xiaoshuan, it doesn't help by saying same, yeah? Can we move on to something else other than coding? Thank you, Johnson, for highlighting Microsoft Office. This is very true, yeah? You can get a whole training about Microsoft Office just easily online, and more importantly, for free as well. Anyone else? Programming, another word for coding, I understand that. Okay, finally, some other areas coming in, which I'm assuming is also from my business and as well as engineering students, not just the CT students highlighting all these areas. Photoshop, interestingly, not just IT students will know Photoshop today. Photoshop can be useful for everyone. Yeah. CAD, I think Sutesh, by saying CAD, I think or AutoCAD per se, I easily know that you guys are from the engineering background. Aaron says Excel, phone skills. Kaifeng says phone skills. Kaifeng, what do you mean, phone skills? Do you need skills with your phone? Kaifeng, are you there? Again, someone who cannot switch on the microphone, is it? I'm highlighting these 3 people again because your hands are raised. Muhammad Bakar, Bani, and Harish. Lower them if you have nothing to ask. I think I heard Kaifeng. Are you there?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what do you mean by phone skills?
Like how the like old people don't know how to use phone also.
If old people don't know how to use phone, do you think they can go online and learn how to use the phone?
Can go YouTube
Okay.
search.
Yeah, I mean, fine. I can accept that to a certain extent. All right. Okay. Thank you, Kaifeng. I asked what technology skills can you easily learn online. You're going to tell me what old people can do online. Interestingly, coding, data analytics. Good point. Do say. Video editing, coding again. I told you guys to stop with the coding, yeah. Communication, Bitcoin. Interesting one by Jiawen. Algorithms, almost everything. Yeah. Muhammad Bakar, when you answer almost everything, you are not answering something, right? It's better you answer something than just saying everything. Can you learn how to swim online? Almost everything. Eh? Web development, any skills related to computer, Photoshop, multimedia, Adobe, PowerPoint, coding, digital art. Interestingly, something by Aspar, digital arts, web designing as well. I think a lot of you highlighted web development. So good thing that you know. Autodesk, which I'm assuming is still going back to AutoCAD and CAD-CAM as well. Everything, Photoshop, everything again. Someone else with everything. How lazy can you be if your answer is everything? Because saying everything is still not saying something. Excel skills, graphic design, hacking. Oh yeah, interestingly, yes, you can easily learn how to hack online. Maintenance, coding is super easy if you have the passion to learn. Good point as well. Sardar says gaming skills. Yep, exactly. You can easily learn about games online. Some of you who are stuck at a certain level and you cannot upgrade yourself, is probably you don't even bother to just go and look up online to find out how to solve your problem. Interestingly, by Lumas, I'm not sure if I'm mentioning your name correctly, audio editing. Yep, exactly. You can also do that, which relates a lot to video production as well, by El Alam. Thank you for highlighting. I will end this here. So Jet says, Facebook teaches the old people for us. Really? You guys are really going on and on about how Facebook is now a place for old people, but you guys are there as well. So Vivian says, can stream in Twitch. Yeah, you can stream in Twitch, and I guess you're talking about learning about it as well. Yeah. All right. From Codified, everything which is very easily transferable, very easy to teach, very easy to learn, because everything is properly documented. We move on to something that is called tacit technology. Tacit, on the other hand, is not easily documented. Yeah, but it still involves technology as well. Non-articulated knowledge, usually only based on experience. Yeah, so these type of technological skills, you don't get to just learn the basics and immediately know how to do something. Yeah, it's normally based on experience. It's not fully documented either, so you may not know the exact in and out of the technology per se. All right, so a question based on tacit technology. Can you identify what technology skills requires a lot of practical experience for you to be good at? I hope I don't see a whole bundle of coding again, but identify some other areas as well. Yeah, don't just be stuck with coding. Coding is not everything. Public speaking is a technological skill. That's interesting. Wow, you guys are all on the same page, yeah? The three of you at least. Yuan, Aiden, and Heidi all says video editing, exactly. Public speaking, AutoCAD. AutoCAD again, Bakar is coming in to say that. Video production, IoT, hacking, Photoshop, multimedia, CAD, something relating to maths and engineering, video editing for sure. Yeah, I agree. For those of you who highlights video editing, audio editing, or maybe just graphic design in general, yeah, you need to have the eye for it as well, right? For example, I think not all of us here can look at a photo and image and judge to say whether that photo is good or not. That kind of technological skill is what we refer to as a tacit technological skill. Yeah, is it documented somewhere? Is it documented somewhere what is considered to be a good photo and a good image? Not directly, because it takes experience for you to evaluate, because it depends on the context of the photo. Is the focus of the photo the person in the photo or the background of the photo? Just like I think what kind of technological skills is considered tacit as well, like all of us here trying to evaluate a movie, for example. Yeah, I can ask you a simple question. Do you think the visual effects of the movie is good? Everyone will have a very different answer. And it depends whether you have prior experience or not. Yeah, it depends on whether you know what to look at or not. Okay, again, this may not be something that is fully documented, but it's a lot based on experience. Yeah, so thank you. I see a lot of the graphic design. Sa'an just mentioned it. Investing money. I guess you are talking along the lines of maybe investing into something like cryptocurrency, or just doing trading online. Yeah. Web design, video and photo, hacking, animation. All right. Okay. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for all of your responses. Creating an app, streaming, video editing. Hassan said, I don't know. Hassan, you can look at everyone else's answer. I hope you will at least say you know now. Cybersecurity, interestingly highlighted by Uzma as well. Yeah, I was waiting for this answer to come out. Evidently, it's only Sardar who's very obsessed with gaming by the looks of it. Agreed. Yeah, everyone can easily know how to play Leagues of Legends or be active on PUBG or being or play Dota 2, for example. But being good at it, being good at it, and knowing how to strategize with the technology, it is something that requires experience. It is something that requires practical experience, more importantly. Yeah. Thank you very much. I'll end the question here. So at least now you have an idea when you are trying to differentiate across codified technology and tacit technology. Codified is much more straightforward. Like when it comes to Microsoft Office, to be honest, it's either you know or you don't know. It's not really a lot of practical experience required in relation to that. It's either you know the function or you do not know the function. I can ask everyone now, do you know that there are 7 ways on how you can actually save a document? Yeah, doesn't matter if it's Excel, Word, or PowerPoint. Do you realize that there are 7 ways you can save a document? And this question is very relevant to you because I know, for example, the CT students, you all definitely took PITS last semester, and you should be able to answer this question, right? And maybe someone who did not may not be able to answer it. If you have taken PITS and you still cannot answer this, this is a whole other issue. Yeah. All right, moving on. So the 6 classifications we have gone through: new and emerging, right? You saw high, low, and medium as technology as well. And of course, we spoke about codified and tacit technology. Yeah. Now, the basis of technology, of course, relates a lot to this particular word here that says science. Yeah. And you always hear this being paired together. Science and technology is always science and technology. So at the end of the day, of course, as an initial definition of it, anyone who develops or creates a technology are always referred to as engineer, because they are creating a solution at the end of the day, right? So of course, it depends on what area of an engineer are you in. Are you in the software or hardware engineering, or are you in civil in an area of like architecture or chemical engineering or whatever areas? There's so many different areas that you can choose from. Yeah. So the whole idea is that engineers use both technological as well as scientific knowledge in order to solve problems. So they do support each other. And let's see, we'll see after this in the next slide on how do they come together. Yeah. Science, by definition, of course, is the study of how the world works. In this case, in a much more natural manner on how the world works. When you understand how the world works, it's easier for you to manipulate it. Yeah. Technology, on the other hand, is whereby the manipulation happens, the changes happens. And why do you do this? Of course, you are solving a problem. At the end of the day, you are hearing this again and again when we are solving problems overall. Yeah. All right. So we move on to almost towards the final part of technology, which is now looking at the nature of technology. Yeah. Looking at where technology comes from gives you a better idea. Simple question: why is history emphasized so much when we were younger? From when you were in high school, there's a lot of emphasis for you to learn history, because you need to understand where things come from. You need to understand how did we get to where we are today in certain areas. So as highlighted here, you see how technology and science, wherever that it is overlapping, it is then referred to as what we call an applied science. So another word for applied science is the application of science, or rather the application of technology. Yeah. So there is a slight area here where it overlaps, and that's where applied science comes in. So there are 2 terms that you must be able to understand as of now. I just told you applied science is probably leaning more towards technology. Technological applications are applied science. But on the other hand, there is the basic of what we call pure science. Yeah. Look at the definition here. It says a study that has contributed to the exploration of knowledge and used mainly in the education industry. So I think you should easily be able to identify. Now, can I just find out how many of you were science students when you were in your high school? You have a science background in high school. Can I see a show of hands, please? Okay, all right. Quite a number of you by the looks of it. Yeah, you have science background. It doesn't matter what area of foundation you are doing now. Some of you doing science will go towards business or finance, or some of you are, of course, towards technology as well. Yeah. So I see quite a number. More than 30 of you have raised your hands. Thank you. You can lower your hands. Now, when you took science in high school, or even in primary school, or lower secondary, and so on and so forth, you notice you are being exposed to a lot of pure science areas. Yeah, that is where all of the areas of pure science come into the picture. So when we are discussing about pure science, so a simple site that highlights it is something I'd like to share here, and the image here is what I wanted to bring your attention to. All right. So as you can see, biology, physics, chemistry, all these are referred to in terms of pure sciences, right? The areas within them as well. So it's easy to understand where pure science come from. It's a lot of the subjects that we have taken before. Even if, of course, it leans more towards sciences. That's why you see physics, chemistry, biology, and along those lines which are being highlighted. Yeah, the basic 3 that we always go into. So when you do a comparison for both of them, let's run through pure science first. Is basic science, the exact science of the development of scientific theories. Yeah, there are a lot of basic, fundamental, and foundational theories that we need to understand when it comes to biology, chemistry, or even physics. Yeah, most of the time, it is always motivated by curiosity. When you find out about the creators of certain formulas, the creators of certain areas, you will always realize that they are all based on curiosity. It's something that they investigate and they wanted to find out. All right. Most of the time, therefore, it is funded by people or funded by organizations who may not necessarily have a commercial interest. Yeah, they do it for the sake of finding out, and as highlighted, is mainly because of their curiosity to then explore the area, not necessarily to understand that they want to make money out of it, right? Research, for example, in the education side of it is not necessarily only the sole purpose of it is to make money or for the area to be commercialized. Research made without any idea of applications, with the sole view of just extending and expanding knowledge. Yeah, so pure sciences covers that area. Applied science, on the other hand, is exactly what is the opposite of everything what pure science is. Yeah, application of pure science theory for a practical purpose, which again goes back into you are solving a problem basically, right? Using it to basically solve a problem. Supported by industrial applications, most of the time you see it being applied in industries because the practical application of it is there. Applications are directed by large organizations and normally with high commercial value. So instead of seeing that here it is only funded by individuals sometimes or companies that have no commercial interest, you see the exact opposite here. Companies who has interest in it will end up investing into it because they know they can make money out of it. So applied science moves towards that. Research, as you can see, is made solely for technology developments and innovation. R&D investments here are mainly because you are trying to create some valid solutions out of it. Yeah. All right. Again, there are some of you who did not lower your hands. I always notice this because in case someone is asking a question, I need to refer to it. Yeah. So I'm always just checking unless you are really raising your hand because you want to ask a question. Bunny, your hand is still raised. Do you have a question? All right. Oops, sorry. I think there's something missing here. I will just skip it anyway. All right. Oh, I wanted you to ask this instead. So pure science, I think we all know. You don't need to reply there. It goes back down to biology, goes back down to chemistry, and goes back down to physics as well. Interestingly, something like psychology that was highlighted earlier, that can also be considered pure science. Yeah. But what about applied science? You can find a lot of different areas. I've shown you some in the picture earlier as well. Theoretical physics, you're absolutely correct, Bakar. Certain applications of physics, just mentioning physics alone may not be applied science yet. So a particular area of physics can be considered. Yeah. Social science, absolutely correct, Lumas. Kinematics, applied chemistry, applied mathematics. Exactly. Yeah. So when you do a search about all this, right, I'm very happy to see a lot of you are a bit more familiar with it as well. So if you just do a simple, let's say I just do pure maths versus applied maths, yeah, you can already see that there is a very distinct differentiation across these areas. Yeah, I always like to search for information by images because that's how I learn much more faster, right? So it's totally up to you to see what areas you can go into. So you can see here that, all right, algebra, number theory is then what you call pure maths. When you go into approximation theories or differential equations, then that goes into applied maths. I can just change this word at the back and now go into pure and applied chemistry, for example, right? Then you can see the difference. Some are even giving examples here. See. Pure versus applied chemistry. So it's highlighted here, a scientist discovers a new element and identifies it as iron, right? So in his word here, in his original component and form here, in an element here, right? So applied chemistry, on the other hand, is a scientist realizes that they can crush up iron, purify it, and use it to give to people that lack a normal amount of iron in their bloodstream. All right. When I see this for the first time, I think the first question to go like, oh wait, so what you mean when I take iron tablets as a supplement, it is actually converting iron into the iron that we know, the metal that we know, into something that can be consumed as a person, right? So think about that for a while. When someone says that they are lack of iron, do you literally eat the iron, which is basically one of the elements of the earth? Think about that. If that spark enough of your curiosity, go and find out as well. Yeah. But my main point here is to differentiate across pure and applied. All right. Fine. I see. All right. Awesome. Architectural engineering, social sciences, forensics, gene editing. I think we can go on and on. Almost everything today you can see it is related to applied science. Yeah. Asfar highlighted using physics and machines to create unique arcade controllers. Exactly. Spot on. All right, awesome. Everyone is quite good at identifying that as of now. So moving on from that is, of course, just to highlight, as I mentioned earlier, for those in applied sciences, which is what most industry and commercialized industries are today, I just wanted to share with you this particular blog. It was not too long ago, October 15, 2021, by Christo Petrov. And what he has highlighted is in terms of seeing who are the biggest spenders, yeah, who are the biggest investors when it comes to R&D. So evidently, you see the larger players on the top 5 and top 10 here easily. You see Samsung here, you see Alphabet and Google here, you see Volkswagen, you see Microsoft, you see Huawei, you see Intel, you see Apple, and evidently all the tech companies, you see them right on top with the largest spending in terms of R&D. Yeah. So to be fair, as you can see here, it is in the duration of it is in the duration of a particular year. Yeah, across a particular year to then see this is how much in millions that they have basically been spending. Yeah. So it is obvious that they are doing it for applied sciences purposes because they realize that these are all for commercialization purposes. The better R&D that they build and they understand their consumers very well, the better that they will be building the right type of solution and products for their customers. Yeah. So there's a lot, as you can see, some organizations focus a bit more into R&D. Not all organizations do, because some of them may already have a solution that works and they'll be thinking why change anything? Why reinvent the wheel when something that they're doing is already fine? But as you will see, some organizations they have a higher focus in terms of R&D in order to ensure that their products are doing much more better. All right. So as a closing, of course, as highlighted here, the first point, technology may use knowledge from science and contribute to work in the sciences as well. Yeah. So research about pure sciences, a lot of times today, they are being supported because applied science have the right tools for them to explore further. Yeah. Engineering may use methods common to science inquiry and often involves many simultaneous changing and possible interacting variables. A lot of aspects of application we see today is, I would like to say, is a form of a hybrid at the end of the day. Yeah, there's a lot of different mixes of technology to then create something new out of it. Humans are often, of course, creating inventions and innovations to control a lot of the factors and aspects around them. Yeah, so that the outcome of it and the change that is being implemented is something that suits them, right? Invention and innovations, of course, obviously have side effects as well. Most of them, I would like to say, it can be unforeseen and harmful, right? The first car ever being created, or when Henry Ford created the car, he did not guess that that basically 100 years down the road, cars are going to be the main contributors towards air pollution, for example. Yeah, that was definitely not something that was being created and expected per se. All right. As attempts to bring about changes to natural phenomena, all invention and innovation is based on sets of human values. The study of human beings has a lot to do with where our technology is going today, right? Simple example, wearable technology, right? Technology that we can wear, a smartwatch, for example, or aspects of a smart glass, for example, right? It can be everything else, anything else in relation to a wearable as well, right? Health trackers, which I know a lot of us are fitness trackers, which a lot of people are using today as well. A lot of those is because of the study of humans and to know what do they need, at what point of time do they need it, and what can they do with it. All right. Okay, there are just some links here. I will leave it for you to look at. I will cover this more next week when we speak about types of technology. Yeah, when we speak about types of technology and we look into different technology trends. The only reason I'm sharing this here with you is so that you can take a look at it and to see what changes have been taking place in different areas. Yeah, I will share with you more as well, because even in the wakelet that I've shared with you, you would have noticed I've provided a lot of links towards different technology trends as well. Yes, this might be just a simple introduction to technology, but I think it's important to see where the direction of technology is. At least you see the relevance of technology in your near future as well. All right. Okay, all right. So any questions at this point? Random questions. Any questions that you would like to find out about? Let me close this. We will watch these videos next week. Any questions? Are we good? Bunny, you have a question?
So I think my Teams has a problem because I've tried lowering my hand, but it can't.
I see.
Yeah, all along I've been doing it. I even restart Teams, but still nothing happens.
Wow. All right. It's good. You could just let me know the next time, drop it in the chat, and I will help you to lower your hand.
All right.
All right. Awesome. All right. So Johnson says, is the tutorial class tomorrow for CT group in hybrid mode or fully online? So Johnson, tomorrow is hybrid. I've already asked in the group. I was asking how many of you will be attending class online and how many of you will be attending physically. There's about, I think, 8 or 9 of you who said physically. So as long as there is one of you who reply who say that you are coming, I will be in class. But on a weekly basis, I might just find out to see whether if you are coming or not. If all of you are not coming, I will not take the full effort to go to class to set up the hybrid environment to make sure I can do all of that, especially when I find out none of you are coming to class. Yeah, so that is the reason I asked. And as I said, I will probably ask this on a weekly basis to just find out if there's someone coming, fine, I'll be there in class. But if there's no one coming, I will not, as I just highlighted, I will not take all the effort to do all the hybrid setup, because my hybrid setup is a bit different. I try to set it up with other equipments as well in the class, so it will take a bit more effort on my end. But as long as I know that someone is coming, I will be in class. So yes, tomorrow hybrid is happening. I will see some of you in class and the rest of you online. Saad says no questions. All right, good. Okay, let's move on to your attendance, which is always a highlight for a class because something to look forward to. Lecture, we started at 4:30. Do we have time? Yes, we have time. It's 6:17. So it's 4:30, 2 hours lecture. All right. Okay, all right. So once you are done with the attendance, you are allowed to go. I will see CT students tomorrow, and I'll see the BF and engineering students next Tuesday for your next tutorial. All right. Thank you. Take care, everyone. Stay safe. See you then. All right. You're welcome. Take care. See you guys.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Thank you. Take care. Okay. Thank you. Bye, Samuel. Stay safe too, Azhar. Shami says, can you mark my attendance? My Wi-Fi is very slow. Yes, Shami, as soon as you change your profile picture, because I'm very sure you don't look like that. Is Shami's attendance still not updated? Yeah. So Shami, change your profile picture and I will update your attendance for you. I will update it now anyway, but please go and do that. This goes to everyone else who hasn't changed it as well. Thank you. Take care. All right. Done. All right. Thanks and have a good day. All right. You too, Shami. Okay then, it's very late in the day now. I still see a few of you here, but if you don't have questions, I'm going to end the call.
Hello?
Were you saying something, Bani? Oh, sorry, Bakar?
Yes, can you hear me, sir?
It's very soft.
All right, now?
Yes, okay.
All right, it's more not a question, but more of an issue. I'm 6 hours before time-wise. I'm 6 hours before Malaysia, and tomorrow's class will be from 10:30 to 12:30, which is the same time for prayers.
Our class tomorrow is at 4:45.
Right, but it's for me. It'll be from 10:45 to 6 to 12:15, right? And my prayers start at like 11:30.
Okay.
So I'm just asking if I'm not there for the last like 30 or 20 minutes, I can take attendance because I'll be there for most of the class, except for the time that I have to be at the prayers.
All right. So what you're requesting for, which I'm assuming is going to be for the rest of the whole semester, as long as the class is at the same time on Friday, is you want to be excused for the last 20 to 30 minutes.
That's exactly right.
Okay, all right. Just let me know as and when you are leaving, because at least I also need to know that you have been at least attending the class. But if considering it's a 1.5 hour class and you are missing every half an hour for the next whole semester, I hope you understand what are you getting yourself into. Is that fair to say? Bakar?
Yeah, sure. I'll let you know. It's for actually me and Ibrahim as well.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that you will be consistently missing the last half an hour of the class every single week. So that is something that you have to decide on your end. Like I said, on my end is not really an issue as long as you inform me and I know that you have attended most of the class. So please, if this is something that is going to disadvantage you later, this cannot be used as a reason. You get what I mean? Bakar, are you still there? Muhammad?
Sir, can I say something as well?
Yes.
Uncle Singh is absent, like he went for a medical treatment and he informed you like maybe a few hours ago.
He informed me a few hours ago.
Yeah, like through Teams, I guess.
He didn't. Oh, he messaged me at 5:58 p.m.
Yeah.
You said a few hours ago.
I'm not sure what the time like, but he messaged you and he told me to inform you again.
I see. Okay, all right. So it says here Okay, all right. He went for a checkup or something, is it?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Just let him know the image he shared with me is dated on the. Oh wait, yeah, I see the appointment dates there. Okay, all right, no problem. Thank you. Thank you for notifying.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
All right.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, sorry, I had to switch to my phone.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it sounds any better, but okay. Do you hear what I said last?
No, I didn't. You were saying that I'll be missing the last 30 minutes of the class for the whole every week.
Yeah. So
Yeah, because I'll still I'll rewatch the whole entire class afterwards. So if there's anything you want me to do for attendance, I'll be fine with that as well.
Okay. All right. Fine. So at least we are clear in terms of the expectation. Yeah. So that then
Sure,
you understand that what you are requesting for as well. Yes, I can allow it, but it does come with additional efforts as well. Yeah.
No problem. That's all.
All right. Awesome. Done.
All right. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Take care. Bye.
Have a good day.